So, I've been slowly getting back into playing Team Fortress 2 a bit more casually outside of just collecting footage for videos after a pretty long break. Trying to enjoy it a bit more, as getting clips and footage is a huge pain in the ass if the entire time I just keep thinking to myself, I'd rather be playing Fistful of Frags, I'd rather be playing Splatoon, I'd rather be playing GoldenEye. You get the idea. So, in my slow return to casual, I have noticed a couple of things. One is that playing with a group of people creates a huge balancing issue, and you're just better off playing alone, but that's a subject for another day. And two is that every server I go to, or at least 9 out of 10 servers, people will be kicking all of the low-scoring free-to-play users. It seems that if they can't get more than 10 or 8 points by the end of a round, they are kicked. I asked each server their reasoning for kicking these people, and their responses are something along the lines of this. We're losing because we're stuck with this free-to-play trash on our team, and because there's no more auto-balance, this is the only way to make the game more fair. Because if we kick these people, we'll get new users to come in that actually know what the hell they're doing. And I have a few problems with that line of thinking. The first and most obvious one is that it takes like 20 minutes to get replacement players in a TF2 match. So congratulations, now instead of some low-scoring players being there to, at the very least, distract the enemy while you respawn, get a sentry nest up, build Uber, whatever you're doing. Instead of that, now you're just missing half of your team, because no players at all are better than bad players, right? Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But there's a much more serious issue to all of this than just the everyday injustice to free-to-play users. The majority of free-to-play users are relatively new to the game, and this is the experience we're giving them. TF2 is an unwelcoming game, and you are not allowed to learn to play the game because you will be punished for even trying. Now, kicking free-to-play users for being bad at the game is nothing new in Team Fortress 2, of course. A kick here and there is not going to do anything in the long run. However, we need to look at where Team Fortress 2 is currently sitting. Team Fortress 2, to a lot of users, is a dying game. Player numbers are decreasing, and as such, Valve no longer puts priority into this game's development. Because Team Fortress 2 has no priority, Valve will not hire additional help for the game's development. Because they won't hire additional help, the development itself is going to be very slow. Because of that, there are going to be fewer updates. Fewer updates means that longtime players feel that the game is getting stale and they'll just outright leave. And in turn, more players leave and the cycle of destruction continues until the game inevitably dies for good. Now, this won't happen overnight. The Team Fortress 2 community is still far too strong for us to see its end anytime soon, but if this continues, it will die eventually. Now, what can solve this? Getting the new generation of players interested in the game and breathing new life into it. Oh, but wait, we just kicked all of them, preventing them from learning to play the game and learning to love it. They either end up going to community servers, which are dying out, most of which teach them nothing about the actual game itself, or they try again in casual, get kicked, and now have the mindset, wow, this game's community is terrible. They won't let me even play the game. Why should I even bother with this? I will just go back to Overwatch or Call of Duty. Those communities are shit too, but at least I can play those games in the first place. And like I said, on a small scale, Team Fortress 2 has always had issues when it comes to kicking free-to-plays, and it's had little to no effect so far, but on such a grand scale now, and with half of the servers consisting of free-to-play users, as longtime fans have moved on to other games or just given up on casual altogether, this is now a huge issue. On the surface, it might look like nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, it is actions like this that will ensure Team Fortress 2's death. Free-to-plays are not the ones ruining casual. The joke of balancing is, blaming the free-to-play users for not understanding an admittedly weird and confusing game compared to other shooters right off the bat is not going to solve a damn thing. The harsh truth is that without free-to-play users, this game would have been dead a long time ago. And punishing players for being new to the game is only going to kill it faster. New players won't even want to try the game, and because of that, Valve won't care to keep it going, which is going to leave devoted players content-starved, and the game more abandoned than Hydro on a Tuesday morning. So take a nice long look. If the community continues to punish free-to-play users for just trying the game and not understanding it right off the bat, this is going to be our game's future. Empty servers, no content, nothing to look forward to, just a dead, sad little shell of its former self. Now, just kicking free-to-plays, of course, is not the only factor going into this game's death. The terrible casual servers, the lack of updates, the incompetence of Valve, the mess of weapon and class balancing. Seriously, why play anything but Soldier, Demo, and Scout? All of these are factors in Team Fortress 2's slow death. But pushing away new users that could breathe new life into this game and get it back on its feet again is what's keeping it down and will kill it off in the long run. It's like, say you had a family member that was in the hospital, and when the doctors came in to save their life, you tell them to fuck off, and then your family member died, and you got mad at the hospital for not doing anything to save their life. Okay, maybe that's a bad analogy. I wouldn't want a free-to-play performing surgery on me either.
You just start stabbing like this until you find the right spot in the head. Actually, I don't think this is even the right fucking tool. Get that out of here. This is the right tool right here. And you just rear back and slice the fucking thing off.
But you see what I'm saying, right? We're getting rid of the one thing that might save this game's life. Free-to-play users will not always be free-to-play. A lot of them, if they really start enjoying the game, will want to buy items and personalize their loadouts more to their liking. That in turn gives Valve the money they so desperately want, and if enough start becoming pay-to-play, Valve might take another look at this game and go, there's still some money to be made here. Because at the end of the day, money is all Valve really cares about, and that's what will get us new content and updates. It won't be quick, and it won't be easy, but we are at the crossroads here. This is the tipping point of whether Team Fortress 2 has another 10 years in it, or if we are just going to help kill it off early. Valve deciding not to port Team Fortress 2 to the Source 2 engine should have been the first wake-up call that something is wrong here. Now, that will probably never happen, as that would be an enormous task. Meanwhile, the small team of 5 to 6 developers need to delay the Pyro update by about 9 months or so. And after 9 months in development, will it be worth the wait? Let's be realistic here. Probably not. What update recently was not a huge disappointment? Now, as far as Source 2 goes, I could care less. Team Fortress 2 is fine on its own, and I wouldn't want things to change that much. Don't fix the parts of Team Fortress 2 that aren't broken, instead of fixing everything that is. And I think that might be what they're going for now, but even if they wanted to port it to Source 2, they couldn't. They do not have the resources. And Team Fortress 2, compared to just a few years ago, it really is a dead game now. It still has higher player numbers than a bunch of other games similar to it, but the scary thing is that it's no longer by that much. Heck, I'm gonna be that guy and say, Overwatch is destroying it in terms of player numbers. But that's currently online, not the actual community that's devoted to it. I'm still convinced that the TF2 community is way larger than the Overwatch one. It's just, because everyone's content starved and casual is a total joke and they've kind of ruined, the whole quick play thing, not a lot of people are playing it anymore. And if we do not get some new players interested in the game soon, Team Fortress 2 might be too far gone to bring back. And that is what we need to try and prevent. While I never agree with the discrimination against players for not buying something in the stupid Manco store or being new to the game in general, that is not the whole point of this video. The point is that our actions will lead to this game's downfall, and in 10 years, it won't be on Valve or the developers, it will be on us. And you can't blame Valve for the actions of the community and its people. In the final end, we will be to blame. We killed Team Fortress 2.